Hello, thank you for joining us. In this video, we are going to solve questions number 1 through 8 of the WASSCE 2023 Elective Mathematics paper or Further Mathematics paper. This particular paper was written by students from Ghana. So we are solving all these questions. Question number 1, number 2, then question number 3, and number 4a, and number 4b, 5a, 5b, question number 6. Then we will look at question number 6b. Then we'll also look at question number 7 on forces. Then we'll look at question number 8 on mechanics. So stay tuned as we solve through this. So the question given to us is this: 2x squared plus xy minus 3y squared is equal to 9. And we are finding the y, the x at the point 1 and 6. So this is an implicit differentiation. And you recall that we are differentiating with respect to x. So when we differentiate x, we don't have any problem. But when we differentiate y, we need to indicate that we are not intentionally differentiating y, but we are differentiating y with respect to x. So we indicate the y, the x there to show that we are actually differentiating y with respect to x. So let's begin with the 2x squared. When you differentiate 2x squared, since there's no y there, we get 4x. But when we differentiate y, we have to indicate that it is not intentional. We are actually doing it with respect to x, and it happened that we are differentiating y in it. So this is a product. So what we do is that we hold one variable. So let's hold the x first. So x, then we differentiate the other, differentiate the y, the x. Differentiate y, it will give us 1. Then multiply it by the y, the x. Because we have to indicate that we are not intentionally differentiating y. We are actually differentiating with respect to x. Then we come to the term of y. We hold the y and differentiate the x. That one is allowed. So times 1. Then we come to the third term. So minus, if we differentiate 3y squared, we get 6y. But we have to again show that we are actually differentiating with respect to x. Then when we differentiate the 9 is 0. So all that you're going to do now is to group the dy dx on one side. So we have x, dy, dx, then minus 6y, dy, dx is equal to, now we send the y there, send the x, 4x there. So we have negative 4x minus y all over. Okay, so we have not factored this one in, so let's factor before we divide. So it's equal to negative 4x minus y. So let's factor the y, the x from here. So you're going to get the y, the x outside. Then we will have x, then minus 6y is equal to negative 4x minus y. So dividing through by x minus 6y, we will get x minus 6y here. So now we are finding the value of the y, the x at this point. So the y, the x at x equal 1 and y equals 6. We just substitute the values there to be equal to negative 4 times 1 minus 6 all over, and 1 minus 6 times 6. So that will give us negative 4 minus 6, negative 10 all over 1 minus 36, which is negative 35. So 5 will go here, negative 5 will go here 2 times, negative 5 will go into this 7 times. So the y, the x at 1 and 6 will be 2 over 7. We have this question which says the first term and sum to infinity of an exponential sequence GP are 54 and 162 respectively. Find the sum of the fifth and sixth terms. So we know that the sum to infinity of an exponential sequence is given by the first term over 1 minus the common ratio r. So the sum to infinity is 162, you put it here, and then the first one is 54, you put it here, minus r, over 1 minus r. So if you swap this and this, you get 1 minus r is equal to 54 over 162, and 1 minus r will be equal to 1 over 3. So r will be equal to, negative r will be equal to 1 over 3 minus 1. So r will be equal to, negative r will be equal to negative 2 over 3. Therefore, r will be equal to 2 over 3. So the sum of the sum of fifth and sixth term will be equal to AR exponent 4 plus AR exponent 6 exponent 5. So that will give you A, which is 54 times 2 over 3 exponent 4 plus 54 times 2 over 3 exponent 5. So that will give us 160 over 160 over 9, which is equal to 17.777 recurring. 17.7 recurring. So we have square root of q minus 3 plus square root of q plus 2 is equal to 5. So I can send one of the sets. So square root of q minus 3 equal 5 minus square root of q plus 3 plus 2 for easy evaluation. So I can square both sides. I can square both sides now. So squaring both sides, we're going to get square root of q. So this will get rid of this. So we have q minus 3 here. Then on the other side, we have 5 minus square root of q plus 2. Then 5 minus square root of q plus 2. So the trouble is now on the right hand side. So this time this will be 25. This time this will be minus 5 square root of q plus 2. Then another minus 5. This and this minus 5 square root of q plus 2. Then we have this and this will give you plus q plus 2. So q minus 3 minus 25. Then we have minus 2. And the q will go away. So we're going to get q minus q is equal to, so we have minus 10q, minus 10 square root of q plus 2 on the right hand side. So minus 5 minus 25 minus 28, then that will give you negative 30 on the left hand side is equal to negative 10 root square root of q plus 2. So dividing through by negative 10, we are going to get 3 is equal to square root of q plus 2. So squaring both sides, we are going to get, this will get rid of this, 9 is equal to q plus 2. So 9 minus 2 will be equal to Q. Therefore, Q will be equal to 7. So we have 9 sine 2 theta minus 28 cos 2 theta is equal to 0. So I'm going to equate this 9 sine 2 theta to 28 cos 2 theta. So it means that I've sent this one to the right hand side, making it to become positive. I'm going to divide through by cos 2 theta, cos 2 theta, cos 2 theta, so that this will get rid of this. Now recall that 9 sine 2 theta over note that cos sine theta over cos theta is equal to tan theta. So sine 2 theta over cos 2 theta will be, you get it, will be tan 2 theta. So 9 tan 2 theta will be equal to 28. So you can divide through by 9 by 9. So tan 2 theta is equal to 28 over 9. So we are going to take the tan inverse of both sides. So 2 theta will be equal to tan inverse of 28 over 9. So 2 theta will be equal to 72.18. So dividing through by 2, we are going to get theta to be equal to 36.09. So since we're in the first quadrant, theta is positive. So this is approximately 36 degrees. I will leave it to 2 decimal places since they need us as anything. Now let's look at the B part. Find the binomial expansion of, we have 3r minus 2s exponent 4. So recall that the binomial coefficient, we can use calculator to find it. 4 combination 0, then you're going to get 3r, and then minus 2s. Then we go to the next one, 4 combination 1, then you're going to get 3r, and then negative 2s. Then the next one is 4 combination 2, 3r, then we have negative 2s. Then the continuation, 4 combination 3, 3r, then negative 2s. Then we have 4 combination 4, then you're going to get 3r, then negative 2s. So the first term will increase from 4 to, will decrease from 4 to 0. So we have 4 here, and the second one also increase from 0 to 1. So 4, 3, then 2, then we have 1, then we have 0. Then the second one will increase from 0 to 4. So 0, 1, 2, then we have 3 here, then we have 4. So 4 combination 0 is 1. So that will give us 1 times 3r exponent 4. This one also give us 1. So we get 81r exponent 4 plus 4 combination 4 is 1. So this will give us 16s exponent 4. So when we simplify everything, we have 8r exponent 4. Then 4 times 27, and 4 times 27 times negative 2 will be negative 216 r cube s. Then 6 times 9 times 4, 9 times 4 will be 6 times 9 times 4, another 216 is there, so plus 216 again. R exponent 2, S exponent 2. Then we have 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 times negative 8 will give us 96. Then we have S cube. Oh, what is the R? Okay, R S cube. Then we have the last one plus 16 S exponent 4. So that is what we have for the B part. This is the final expansion. In a town, 15% of the people speak Twi. If 4 people are selected at random from the town, find the probability that more than half speak Twi. So this is a binomial probability, which is given by probability of x equal r is given by n combination r and p exponent r, then we have q exponent n minus r, where the n from the question is 4, n is equal to 4, and we're given that the probability of someone speaking Twi is 15%, so small p is equal to 15%, which is the same as 0.15, and q will be equal to 1 minus p, that is 1 minus 0.15, which is equal to 0.85. So probability of more than half speak Twi when 4 people are choosing. So we are going to get probability of x is greater than 2. So that will be equal to probability of x is equal to 3, or probability of x is equal to 4. So we fix in the values. This will give us probability of x equal 3. So now the r is equal to 3. So we put 4 combination 3. Then we have p, which is 0.15 exponent 3. Then we're going to get q, which is 0.85 exponent n minus 1. 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then we come to this part. So we add it to x equal 4. So we have n, which is 4 combination 4. Then we are going to get p, which is 0.15 exponent 4. Then we are going to get 0.85 exponent 0. So let's simplify this. We simplify this, we are going to obtain probability of x greater than 2 to be equal to 4 times 0.003375 times 0.85. Then we add it to 1 times 0.00050625. We multiply it by 1. So when we simplify this, we are getting 0.01198. And to 2 decimal places, we are going to get 0.01. So that is the probability that we got someone who speak more. We got more than half speaking Twi. Let's look at the B parts. We get at most 2 speaking Twi. So at most 2 speaking Twi means P of x is less than or equal to 2. And this is the complement of x equal x is greater than 2. So this will be equal to 1 minus probability of x is greater than 2, which we found earlier here to be equal to 0.01. So this will be equal to 1 minus 0.01. And when we evaluate this, we get 0.99. Let's continue with question number 6. The table shows the distribution of heights in centimeters of students in a class. Draw a histogram for the distribution. So we can see the table is a frequency distribution table with class interval. So this is a group data with class interval. Group data with class interval. Now, to draw a histogram for the distribution, we can formulate this table like this. Now, recall that you can also use the class midpoint instead of the class boundary to draw a histogram. So to get a class boundary, you get the difference between two classes, two consecutive classes. So you can see that this and this is having a difference of 1 divided by 2, so that we break that gap. So we add 0.5 to this, and we subtract 0.5 from this and add 0.5 to this, so that they'll have a common boundary. So that is what we do for all of them. And this one too, we do the same thing. This one do the same thing. So that will give us the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary. The frequency is already here, so we are now going to draw the histogram. So we have a graph sheet. Now you can use an appropriate scale, since we're not giving any scale. So I have chosen 2 centimeters to 2 units on the frequency axis, and 2 centimeters to 4 units, 2 centimeters to 5 units on the height axis. So we can now draw our histogram. So the first one will take a height of 5. So that is what we have here. The next one will take a height of 21. So 21 is here. And the next one will take a height of 23. So 23 is here. And the next one will take a height of 7. And the last one, height of 4. So that is our histogram. And the B part of the question says that we should use the histogram in 6A to estimate the mode of the distribution. So we look at the highest bar over here, which is this one. We will connect them like this. So we connect the peak here to the peak here. Then we connect the peak here to the peak here. We can now trace downwards. And we can see that we have 2 boxes from 134.5. So the modal mark or the mode will be equal to, since we have 5 interval here from 134.5 to 139.5, it means each box is 0.5, because 0.5 plus times 10 will give us 5. So the mode will be equal to 134.5 plus 2 boxes times 0.5, and that will give us 135.5 centimeters. That is the modal height. Okay, so we move on to the next question. We have 3 forces: F1 2m plus n, F2 negative 3m plus 4n, and F3 equal 4m minus 6n. act on a body with mass 12 kg. Find the magnitude of the acceleration of the body. So recall that this thing here is just the basis or the base vectors, like as we have in um, F equal to A plus B plus B, or let's say F equal to I plus J. So we are going to make use of this is the IJ form. So we are going to make use of the column form if you like, or you can continue like this. So we know that um, the resultant must be found. So our resultant vector will be equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3. So that will give us 2m plus n plus negative 3m plus 4n. Then we add it to 4m minus 6n. So grouping the m's, we have 2m minus m. That will give us m, negative m. Then we add it to 4m. That will give us 3m. Then we add the n's to, we get 5n minus 6n will give us minus n. So that will give us the resultant vector. So the magnitude of the resultant vector will be equal to square root of 3 squared plus negative 1 squared. Square root of 3 squared plus negative 1 squared. So that will give us square root of 10. So we know that the force is given by ma, mass times acceleration, which is given by, the mass is given by 12 kg, and the magnitude of the force is root 10. So 12a is equal to root 10. So we solve for a to get a to be equal to root 10 over 12, or 6 over 5 root 10, and that will give us something like 3.79. This will give us 3.79 meters per second squared. Now let's take the next question. The next question is the acceleration of a lorry at any time t seconds from rest is given by a equal 3 over 2 minus 1 over 10t meters per second squared. Find its velocity after 10 seconds. So from the definition, or from the question, we have the acceleration to be equal to 3 over 2 minus 1 over 10 t meters per second squared. We are asked to find the velocity after 10 seconds, so we have to integrate the acceleration to get velocity. So v will be equal to the integral of 3 over 2 minus 1 over 10 t dt, and that will be equal to 3 over 2t minus, recall that when we are integrating we add to the exponent. So when we integrate x exponent n dx, we are going to get x exponent n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c. So recall that. So the coefficient of the t here is 1. This one, the coefficient of the t is 0. So we add 1 to the 0 to get t exponent 1. That's why we get a t here. Then 1 over 10 t exponent 1 plus 1, which is 2 over 2. Then we have times, already we have 1 over 10, so times 1 over 10 plus the constant of integration. So this will simplify to 3 over 2t minus t squared over 20 plus c. We apply the fact that it is from rest. So v at time t equals 0 will be equal to 0 meters per second. So when we fix it inside, we are going to get v of 0, that is 0 will be equal to 3 over 2 times 0 minus 0 squared over 20 plus c. So that will give us 0 is equal to c. So we fix it back into the velocity to get the velocity is equal to 3 over 2t minus t squared over 20 meters per second. So that is the velocity function in terms of t. Now we have to substitute t equal 10. So after 10 seconds, when t equal 10, the velocity will be equal to 3 over 2 times 10 minus 10 squared over 20. And that will give us 15 minus 5 minus 10 is equal to 5 meters per second. So velocity is equal to 5 meters per second. That's the A part of the question. Then the B part said we should find the distance at time t seconds. So we continue again and we integrate the velocity function. That is, we pick it from here. And integrate it. So v equal 3 over 2t minus t squared over 20. When we integrate this one, we are going to get s, which is the distance or displacement. So distance in this case, so we have 3 over 2 t squared. So t squared over 2, then minus t exponent 3 over t over 20, so over 3 times 20. So that will give us brother c. So the distance will be equal to 3 over 4 t squared minus t cubed over 20 over 60 plus c. Again, applying the initial condition, when time is equal to 0, the displacement or the distance is 0. So when we apply that condition, s of 0 equals 0, we will get the distance in terms of t to be 3 over 4 t minus t cubed, 3 over 4 t squared minus t cubed over 60 meters. So here we bring our solution to an end for the compulsory paper. The other ones will follow. So please, thank you for joining us. See you again. Keep sharing your comments in the comment section.